Welcome to Let's Get Into It. I am your host, Sherelle Higgins. Let's Get Into It is a safe space to have real conversations that are meant to uplift, encourage, and let you know you are not the only one dealing with life. Each episode of Let's Get Into It is designed to provide illuminating and thought-provoking information on a variety of topics. In fact, no topic is off limit. If you would like to see a topic discussed, please feel free to make a recommendation. My special guest and I will have a great time discussing topics that the mainstream media wouldn't dare discuss. We will bring these conversations to you with an open mind, respectfully, from different perspectives, and most importantly, with love. Thank you for joining me and my special guest. Now, let's get into it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Let's Get Into It. You know, I was thinking, I'm going to go ahead and live on the edge today. And, this show should be really interesting. I will tell you that my two guests will be making up stories about me. I don't want you to believe them. But they can't help it. They think they funny. And so we just going to go with it. And anything that they say about me, we can really attribute it to their father. Um, and so today I have my two adult children who is going to join me on the stage. So I'm going to bring to you my oldest, Tasia Brianna, who is also known as the girl. Welcome, Tasia.
Hey, Mom, you starting already?
Kiki says she'll co-sign for me. Thank you, Kiki. And last but certainly not least, I am going to bring to the stage, as many of you all know him as the boy. Hi, Jalen.
We starting already, Mom?
Welcome, young adults. This should be a very interesting conversation. And so, many people always ask me or say things to me like, oh, it must be rough being your child, or I bet your kids think you funny, don't you?
She's hilarious.
Yes, they think I'm funny. And so I thought maybe I would bring y'all on the podcast so people can get some insight into how you all are and what you experienced growing up. Higgins is my married name. And so anything that they say comes from their father's DNA. And so I'm going to start with the softball question. And I'm going to ask each of you all to give me a brief answer of what it was like growing up with me and your father and our gentle parenting style. Tasia, you go first.
Well, brief. Okay. It definitely wasn't gentle. I don't know what that is. That never came through the Higgins household. But it's funny because people all the time say, I wish I could meet your parents. I'm like, I'm sure they would love to hear this. So many people say that to me. So I guess y'all did a great job.
Jalen, how was it growing up under our gentle parenting style?
Yeah, I don't know where gentle came from. That wasn't in the dictionary in the Higgins household. But it was cool though. It was cool. Like Tasia said, a lot of people tell me that they would like to meet my parents, and I tell them no, they wouldn't. So I guess y'all did a great job.
Thank you for that. And so my next question is, I'm going to start with you, Jalen. How do you describe us to people who don't know us?
Loud, caring, trying to be cool and young. That's about it.
We are cool and young. Tasia.
I always tell people, y'all live y'all best lives. Honestly, it was just like growing up. I feel like everybody in our community has the same story, and I'm like, yep, we definitely went through that too, or that definitely happened a couple of times. So yeah.
Okay, so Tasia, I'm gonna start with you. What's your favorite funny story to tell people about your parents?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know if I have one. Well, the most recent one we were talking about, me and Rayshawn, we were talking about that time we went to Massanutten and you went on that, what was the slide called? The avalanche slide. And Dad
Yeah, the
thought
avalanche.
every screenshot of you trying to get up out the slide was probably one of my favorite ones.
And that was the last time I was on any such ride. Jalen.
Usually I tell people about the time when I broke my wrist in Colorado because I remember your first words to me running over. Come on, get up. We gotta get up. We got a
Right.
game to play. And it took until we actually got to the hospital and for you to see the X-ray that my wrist was broken, that you chilled out a little bit.
Because I didn't go all the way to Colorado for you to break your wrist and not play soccer. Because that happened in the first
my
game,
fault. Right? That wasn't my fault.
Okay. So, Jalen, what's your most embarrassing memory about your parents?
Probably every soccer game in my life.
Hold on, Jay, you breaking up. Okay, say that again.
I said probably every soccer game of my life. Mama always being the loudest one on the field, and people always asking me, "Is that your mom?" Yeah. Yeah.
Tasia.
I think the soccer games were iconic, actually. The POTOMAC.
I saw them at Dawson's football game and they loved it.
Yeah, and
Last
then
week.
the time when I scored that goal on the varsity team, you was running down the field with me as I was running down the field. Yeah, everybody knew who our mom was.
Uh-huh.
Let's see, we have a question. It says, which parenting skills that your parents model do you plan to use with your own children? Oh, that's a good one. Well, Jalen, you're the only parent, so let's start with you.
Take the lead on this one.
Well, I'm sure we already know which parent modeled it after, because I say a lot of the same stuff that you used to say to us when we were growing up.
And that's funny. Hold that thought for a minute, Jalen, because I have a question about that. Tasia, which parenting skills do you plan to model when you become a parent?
I think Dad's method of making sure you have everything before you leave, even stuff you may not think you know that you need. I do that now, or just
He
his
has an
putzing around that he
umbrella.
does around the
He
house.
has an umbrella. His rain boots. He got a car starter if you need it. He gonna have a toolkit in the back. He gonna have everything you need.
That's the tool that's going to tell you when it's going to rain and what direction it's coming from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I will say one of my favorite memories of your father as a parent was when he was trying to do the chop and Alexis was over here. I saw that video recently and that was absolutely hilarious. So
don't let him start speaking foreign languages.
So, Jalen, I'm gonna go back to something you said because one of the questions I had was, what's one of my sayings that you didn't like when I said it to you, but now you say it to other people?
We ain't got time to go to the emergency room.
Tasia. Don't be like your brother. What's one of my
What's one of your sayings? I just had one in my head. Jalen threw me off with that. um, what's the one you said? Oh, so what did you learn? That one.
I just asked Luna that today. And Jay and I just had a text exchange about good help is hard to find in every occupation.
Very.
Yeah, let's see. Jessica says, yes, and what morals and values did your parents pass on to you or instill in you? Oh, good question, Jessica.
I got an answer.
Okay, go ahead.
How important family is, because if nobody got your back, family got your back.
Yes, I like that. Tasia.
I agree. That one,
Okay.
I agree. And just the way I carry myself in certain settings, like I talk about this all the time, like how when I was working at Geico, people used to come in there so comfortably and just like we weren't in a corporate building. And some hairstyles I even wanted to try out, but just like, I don't know about that one. And I would always hear a voice in the back of my head, like, you're not going to work in that. So, yeah.
That's good, Tasia. Yes, my work is done. Oh, this is funny. Your auntie Kiki said, what parent skills do you not plan on using?
I don't think there's too many if we had to choose one.
Yeah. You gotta give me a second. I'll come back to that one.
Yeah, I'll have to come back.
Oh, that's a compliment to me.
Wait, I thought of one.
Don't ruin the moment.
Dad. I'm sorry, Dad. But the busybodiness, that he has, nah, I'm good.
No, he gave that, and I can't help it. He sure did. He sure did, and I hate everything about it.
Okay. I'm gonna ask Jalen this question first, so Tasia have time to think of an answer and see if she can even come up with an answer. So, Jalen, if I was on a football team, what position would I play?
That's easy. You be the head coach. That's easy. You don't do none of the heavy lifting. You get to boss everybody around, and you get to pick out what's exactly gonna happen. Yeah, you'd be the head coach. That's too easy.
Yep, and if you're not the head coach, you're gonna be the owner of the team.
Exactly.
So you could be bossing everybody.
It wouldn't be any position on the field.
No.
Not at all.
You wouldn't be the referee because you wouldn't be caught dead in those outfits.
Right. Because every job needs a what?
A supervisor.
Come on now. Yes. Every job needs a supervisor. Okay, so if your father was on the football team, what position would he play?
He would probably his high school position, either cornerback or safety. I would say.
Okay.
Because he would still be a captain on the defense, so he would still boss people around too. And he's one of the most important people on the field too.
Yeah, but still playing in the game.
Yeah, oh, for sure playing in the game.
Okay, so let me ask this question. Tasia, what's your biggest pet peeve about your father?
When he likes to wait for the last minute to wash the car when we about to walk out the door. That.
Ooh, and you both. Jalen.
I would say something along those lines, but he used to wake me up at the butt crack of dawn to go wash the car. So that was one of my pet peeves. Like, dude, it's 8:00 on a Saturday. Why are we washing the car right now?
Okay, I know you. I already know the answer to this is nothing, but I have to ask it to be fair and balanced. So, Jalen, what's your biggest pet peeve about me?
Miss Supervisor all the time. That's it.
She loved for you to be self-sufficient.
Uh,
For sure. And she
I've been
loved to tell you
self-sufficient.
what to do.
Right. I've been self-sufficient since 5.
I love it. And look at you now.
Traumatized.
Okay, Tasia, what's your dad's superpower?
Hmm. He'll think of stuff that you wouldn't even think about. Like, but even when it comes to directions, where you gotta go, uh, different ways of looking at stuff. Like going back to just grabbing stuff you wouldn't think you would need, or just things along those lines. His logistics. and and he was just always there. Like a lot of black people, like a lot of black females especially, can't say that, but I brag about that. I'm like, oh no, my daddy will do this, this, and that. Mm-mm. Like,
Jalen, so
can't
what's
relate.
your dad's? Oh, sorry, Tasia, go ahead.
And be like, can't relate.
Jalen, what's your dad's superpower to you?
Piggybacking on to what Tasia said, I'd say seeing into the future, because you'll step out the house, it'll be 80 degrees outside. It won't be a cloud in the sky. Next thing you know, it's thunderstorming. And he come with the umbrella.
The biggest
So
one.
I would say seeing into the future.
Your dad said it's called being prepared.
Yes, we love it.
Okay,
Hmm.
Jalen, what's my superpower?
Your superpower?
Uh-huh.
Hmm. I would say, um, hmm, that's a good one. I'm gonna come back to that. I need
Okay,
a second about my answer.
okay, Tasia, what's my superpower?
You my dictionary. You just know everything. Oh, that
Mhm.
and that goes back to one of my pet peeves. You telling me you could figure it out. You a smart girl. I'm like, well, I know that. I need help.
So your auntie Felicia said my superpower is supervisor.
See, I was trying to figure out how
That
to say
too.
that. I was trying to figure out how to say that. Yeah, supervising is definitely your superpower.
Hey, every job needs a supervisor. And somebody has to be able to supervise and make sure that they look. See, now your auntie Kiki talking about everybody. That's right.
Hmm.
So, okay. Every job needs a supervisor. And so if somebody has to be in charge, it might as well be me. So
Okay.
who's most like your father between the two of y'all?
I would say
It
Jalen.
depends on the situation.
Why you say that, Jalen? So give us a situation where look, Felicia said I supervise her too. So Jalen, so give me an example of when you're like your father.
At work, I'm a very logical thinker, and I've already told you multiple times. I tell them at work all the time, if it doesn't pass the common sense test, I'm not doing it. I can't do it. I can't.
And when are you like me?
When they try and have me do something that doesn't pass the common sense test.
Tasia, are you more like your father or more like me?
I think a mixture. I think I'm like you. sometimes when it comes to my tolerance for certain things and my patience. And then I'm like dad. More I'm starting to see I'm like dad, like I said, because I'm starting to putz around a lot. So that's coming into play.
So let me ask you all this. So as siblings, like I feel like you all have a good sibling bond. Where does that come from?
All them days when we was growing up, and it was just me and Tasia at the house, and we was just chilling.
Y'all wasn't cleaning up?
What?
Y'all
I'm
done had to
sorry,
clean up?
I'm sorry, you broke up. Could you say that again?
Tasia.
That what Jalen said. All them summers we were always in the house together. And then I think just being that I was older and I never, well, not never, but me and Jalen never really went to school together unless we were in like 5th grade and kindergarten. So I always wanted, I always see people have siblings closer in age. So even though we have that gap between us, when we got older, I felt like it got better, and I wanted to always make sure that we still kept that bond, even though we're at 2 completely different places in our lives right now. So that was always important to me because that's my only sibling too. So that plays a big part into it too.
So do you all think that growing up watching the bond that me and my sisters have anything to do with the bond that y'all have and respect?
Oh yeah, y'all talk about everything with each other. Y'all talk about it. Nothing is off limits to your sisters.
As far as like me not playing about my brother and how I feel about my brother, yes. As far as us having the bond, I think it's just a little different because it's a boy and a girl. So, and again, I'm not a lot older, but a good gap older than Jalen. So certain things we can't talk about right now until he gets, to a different level or a different stage in his life where, he's a little more independent. But then those certain like adult conversations will come into play. But as far as, keeping tabs on each other and how we are, just checking on each other's mental, I think we're pretty good about that.
Oh, okay. So we have a question. It says, do you all ever get into disagreement?
Oh yeah, sometimes. It don't be worth it
Yeah,
though.
but not as much as when we were younger though.
It don't be worth the energy now.
Okay, that's good. Let me see.
He's the father king.
Delphine says, so my daughter posted that my mom used to say, I'm not your friend. She said, look at us now. She my best friend. Oh, that's a good one, Delphine. Are we best friends?
We was just talking about this.
we not best friends. Jalen, why we not best friends?
Why would my best friend be my mom? I feel like, and Delphine, this is no shade to your daughter. I feel like if your mom is your best friend, you got some other stuff to work through.
At least we're all on the same page with that.
Tasia, we not best friends? I wanted to be y'all best friend.
Mom, you don't even want to follow me on Instagram.
Woo, this is hilarious to me.
Just a reminder, you asked us to do this.
I thought we were best friends. Oh my goodness. So let's talk about when you were growing up and how me and your father not only give y'all a good life, but make sure that you didn't have no responsibilities. And like when you would come home from school,
Tasia, you took the look off my face.
She had me until she said we didn't have any responsibilities.
You remember when I used to do y'all laundry, clean y'all room, cook dinner for y'all every day, clean up the kitchen afterwards?
You didn't even
Probably when I was
realize
like 3, and I don't even remember that.
Mm-mm.
Y'all don't
And
remember that?
Jalen, you was probably still separating your own clothes at 3.
I know, yeah, probably.
Because they said he was gifted and talented, so I wanted to see.
I don't know who said that. They clearly hadn't met me.
I remember when we tried to make and had no responsibility. So when y'all go up, y'all know how to do things. So when you went off to college, you didn't know how to do your own laundry, you know? And you called me on the phone. Y'all don't remember this? You called me on the phone. It was like, how do I do my laundry?
I don't think I've ever said that sentence in my life.
Mm-mm.
Y'all got short memories. Okay, let's see. Crush said, what did your parents do or say that got on your last nerve as kids that you now see was beneficial in your growth and upbringing? Tasia?
Think things all the way through.
Yeah, I would say that. I would say that too.
Because I think now I overthink. That's my problem.
So you think me telling you all to think things all the way through makes you overthink it?
Yes.
Or does it make, because I used to always say it's all fine and well if it goes the way you plan, but what if it don't? Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think when you have to think about both sides, it doesn't necessarily make you overthink it. It just makes you have to say, okay, if it goes great, I'm good with that. But if it doesn't, I'm prepared for that.
Yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm.
But then I start thinking deeper and deeper. It might just be me.
So let's see. Financial responsibilities. Oh, that's a good one, Felicia. So in terms of financial responsibility, what can y'all say about your parents and being financially responsible?
Ain't
And
nothing free. Ain't nothing free.
okay, that's good. At least you know that.
Mm-hmm.
And out of both of your parents, who do you think is the most financially responsible?
You want me to say that on the air?
Yes.
I mean, it's you. I know me and Dad the same, so it's definitely you.
Tasia. Tasia looks like she's frozen. Yes, Jessica, I'll be making myself laugh. Let's see what this says. No, you all don't understand. Trust me, she has many friends. Oh, this is Delphine, Jalen. But she was
Okay.
saying how close we are. Nothing can separate us, and there's nothing that she can't talk to me about. Growing up, I did play, and your mother knows that. Yes, absolutely. And I think this is just my perspective, but I think there's a line between being a friend and being a parent. And just because your kids can talk to you about anything does not mean that you're still not parenting. And so I think, for me, it's important to Tasia, turn your camera. It's important to
There Sorry.
oh, there you go. Okay, so it's important to, for me, I'm just gonna always stay in the parenting role. And that doesn't mean that you can't come talk to me about anything. That's the type of relationship that we have. Now, sometimes my reactions may not necessarily be what you signed up for, but it comes along with me being human. Let's see. Ooh, Kiki, give me more on that. Make good decisions. Oh, I like that. So, how often do you hear that?
Every time I leave the
All the
house.
time.
Yes, because I want you to really think about what you're doing out in the streets, and especially as young adults in 2025, it's important that, you have that constant reminder that you make good decisions when you out there, because a lot of people can easily be in a bad situation because of a 5-second decision. And so I want that to constantly
Mhm.
be on your mind. Um, so here we go. Now for the real, real. Tell us something about each parent, good or bad, that the general public might not know or appreciate about them. Good question, Crush.
I'm not sure if this is good or bad, but how do I say that? We had to upgrade my dad's style. Not a lot of people know about that. Not a lot of people know about that.
And we were just talking about
People don't
this.
know about how we had to change our mom.
What'd you say, Tasia?
I
Say
said,
that
people
again,
don't know we
Tasia.
had to teach mom how to change hers up.
Well,
I
mine
said,
was more
people don't know
about
we had to tell mom how to change hers
casual.
up too.
Mine was about how to be casual. And clearly, I did not pass the test on casualness this past week, a couple days when I went down to Charlotte. My girlfriend went with me and she was like, well, what's the dress code? And I said, casual. And then when she got here, she was like, you don't look casual to me. I was like, this is my casual. So I don't know about that. So, um, so Jalen, you always have one story. Felicia said our family don't know about casual. That's right. Our daddy taught us well. Um, um, here we go. We got George in the house. Don't help Jim unless he asks, and Sherelle is always in therapy mode. Yes, and when he asks for your help, only do what he asks you to do, no more, no less, and then get out the way.
Exactly how
And
he
so
said it.
no more or less. Stay out
Yeah.
his way. So, if you think back over your life growing up, who would you say was the strictest between me and your dad?
Easy, you.
You.
Easy. Easy.
It was me?
Easy. Yeah, easy. You had my
Hmm.
PS4 for like 4 years. Easy. Because of a
Oh,
C. That exactly. Easy. That's hands down. I ain't gotta think about that.
I had your PS4 for 4 years because you had a
Yeah,
C.
it was something like that. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, wow. What
I
did you learn?
remember I remember you wouldn't let me try out for soccer because I had a
See,
C. You you remember that in middle school? You had made me pull off the team halfway through the year because I had a C.
Oh, no, I don't remember that. You sure that was
I
me?
I remember it perfectly, like it was yesterday.
and don't forget when you had to do ROTC.
Man, exactly. Exactly. That just proves my point even more. Why was I even in
Ah,
that class?
I was trying to help you get some discipline, and it worked a little bit. So, if you think back over the time you were growing up, what and I think I know what story Jalen will tell. What's the one story about me, Jalen, that you always talk about?
I don't know. I got a lot. I got a lot that I
Okay.
was talking about with you.
Okay, give us one story, Jalen.
I would probably say one that I talk about a lot also is when I broke my wrist in Colorado, and it was the days after that came up, and you let me have Popeyes every day for breakfast. I would never forget that. Every day
I
on the way to the fields, we got a 3-piece, large fry, and some large red beans and rice every morning.
I thought you was gonna talk about when I came up to the school.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, because that was, oh my gosh, that was the most pointless thing. The most pointless thing. Y'all listen to this. So my teacher called her because I wasn't sitting in my assigned seat and I had an A in the class. Really?
And because you was talking to your friends and she wanted you to stay in your space where she wanted you to be a leader in the class. And even though you had an A in the class, you were being disruptive during class by talking to your friends. And so that's why she called me. And what happened when I came up there?
They was talking to me. They was talking to me. I had an A in the class. It's not my fault that they didn't do their work before they started talking. That's not my fault.
And what happened when I came up there? What happened?
Oh, I was confused because the administrator just popped up to the class and just called me into the hallway. So I was confused. Like, I know I didn't do nothing. And then I walk out there and she's standing there. And I'm like, why are you here? Talking about you not sitting in your assigned seat. Really? Come on, man. Really?
What grade were you in when that happened, Jayla?
I was a freshman in high school.
Oh, okay.
That was in biology.
Oh, okay. All right, Tasia.
We got the same story because you came up and sat in my class too because the teacher called you. I don't even know what she called you about or what she said, but I know there was actually the first time you came up to the school and the second time you made me write a note to the teacher. And that's when you found out she didn't really have no problem for real, because when she got my note, she just thought it was the sweetest thing in the world. So clearly she was delusional.
Because your note said to the teacher,
It wasn't
next
us.
time you have a problem with me, you can talk to me about it and not my parents.
Yeah, exactly. Straight up. Straight up. I would have said the same thing, Tasia. I
I
don't
didn't
even blame
like
you.
no apology.
I don't even blame you, Tasia. I would have said the same thing.
Okay, so
Because she didn't have an issue for real.
let me ask you this. So you all have basically the same friends that you've been having your entire lives. So what do your friends say about your parents? Tasia, you go first.
Everything I be saying. They always bring up the times where we always took those road trips whenever we would have the travel games like out of the state and we would be gone for the weekend. They know your whole playlist. It's so funny.
Uh-huh.
And Jalen. So wait, hold on, Jalen. And Tasia, what do they say about your dad?
He's so quiet. And then no, everybody else will say that, not Jasmine. She knows what's really going on.
Right.
Jasmine be like, what? He's not quiet. Be like, I'm glad somebody else can vouch for this.
Right, because somebody said that last weekend, and me, Kiki, and Marquita almost fell over when they said he's so quiet. We was like, who? What?
He must not have liked them.
See, look, even people in the comments saying, "Damn quiet?" Question mark. Jalen, what do your friends say? But they better not be saying, and especially that Michael and Donovan and Britt, all of them, they better not be saying nothing about me. You better not say nothing about me. What your friends say about us?
That y'all loud. Y'all definitely one of a kind parents. Not like any other parent out there. Like Tasia said, they know y'all whole playlist. They know dad is a go-go fiend. So they say mostly good things about y'all.
Okay, they better.
Michael swears up and down y'all funny.
We are. Remember, I started the show saying that.
He swear up and down, y'all funny.
Crush said, Jalen, you are so me. More than you know, Crush.
I'm holding back right now. I'm holding back.
Okay, this is a good one. How did your parents make God the forefront of y'all's upbringing?
So growing up, I remember we used to go to church a lot until we started playing like travel soccer competitively, and then we were gone almost every weekend. But I remember growing up going to church, and I used to hate it because church was always 3 hours long for no reason. But then once I actually started listening to what they were saying, I realized they were preaching a good word.
Okay, Tasia.
I used to dislike it because the times we would go to church would be our weekends off from soccer. So I would think I could rest and be lazy. But we got to get up just as early as we did all week to go to church.
We was trying not
Don't
to
let us try to come home and take a nap.
What? You couldn't come home and take a nap after church?
Absolutely not.
Not after church, not after school.
I don't know why not. Oh, this is a good question. Auntie Sharon said, what benefits do you think you gained from having both parents in the home?
Not to be in the streets acting a fool.
Common sense.
Yeah, common sense. Common sense is the biggest thing. I say that to mom almost every day. Because common sense is so uncommon. So uncommon.
Uh-oh. Crush trying to get something started. Tasia, what benefits do you think you have from having both your parents in the home?
Just good examples of what a relationship is supposed to look like. The way y'all love each other, the way y'all teach us things, the teamwork y'all do, regardless if it's doesn't have anything to do with us or outside of the household, how y'all go out together, how you dress together, all of that stuff. Move like a unit.
Team Higgins. Come on, babe. We Team Higgins. Okay, so Crush said Bears or Commanders.
Neither. Yeah. We ain't gonna talk about my team. We in a rebuilding stage right now, but
okay. Well, who's your team?
I like the Saints. For those who don't know, I like the Saints. I don't want to talk about it. We're in a rebuilding stage. Give us a couple years.
Okay. Tasia, do you have a team or are you fronting?
No, I don't have a team.
Okay, very good.
There's too many different teams.
Rayshawn probably in the back room melting right now.
Don't be surprised if you see a picture of me with his 49er stuff on.
I know, right? I know. So let's talk a little bit about, you are hit on this a little bit about the example that we have tried to display as a couple. And so what do you take away from what you've seen over the years and infuse it into your relationships?
Dad taught me how to keep a woman. Like all the stuff that he's did for you over the years, like that's not how you get a woman. That's how you keep a woman.
Oh, come on now, Jalen. Yes.
Clock it.
Like I said, just moving like a unit. Like if it's not benefiting our unity, keep it away from us, and that's on both sides.
So, okay, so I'm putting they in question marks in quotations because we don't know who they are. So one of the things people say is mothers and daughters can have a very contentious relationship. And so, Tasia, how would you describe our relationship?
Uh, I think it's gotten. I don't think it was ever bad. I think it's gotten better since I've been older because there's different things we can talk about now. But I don't think we've ever had a bad relationship. I think we've always had a good relationship. So,
And
and people who
even
do be having bad relationships with their mom, even if it's a guy or a girl, and they get into certain arguments or discussions with their mom, I'd be like, "Who? My mama could never. We could never talk to her like that." So,
I was just going to ask you about that. I was going to say, even when you were a teenager and you was going through that phase of teenagehood, and you don't remember like being smart at the mouth or slamming doors or telling me to shut up. None of that.
We should just stop right there.
yeah, that wasn't going on.
Stop right there.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe I had blacked out from an experience. And so
No.
Jalen, they say that there's nothing like a mother and son's relationship. And Tasia, you stay out of this because ain't nobody asking you nothing right now. So Jalen, how would you describe our relationship?
Oh, it's sweet. I mean, I think everybody watching can see I'm probably a spitting image of you. So our relationship is sweet. I ain't never had no problem with you, Ma. You cool? You cool?
Yeah. And Tasia, they talk about daddy's little girl. So how would you describe your relationship with your father?
It's so funny because I tell people all the time how when I was younger I was such a tomboy, and I always make this joke like my dad saying that my dad, wanted a son without telling me he really wanted a son. Me doing all these sports and hands-on stuff. But I think in the long run it helped me more versatile with things that I'm able to do as a woman, especially like anything that has to do with the car. I know I can always call him. Anything I need, really, I can always call him. So yeah, it's still that.
Okay. And Jalen, they talk about, at certain point, men, they get to a point where they think they are men and they, try to, buck the daddy or whatever. So how would you describe your relationship with your father?
Oh, that's my guy. He too. We ain't never had no problems for real. All I know
Okay.
is when he do ask me to help, I better hold that flashlight steady and where he told me to point it. And like y'all said, once he asked me to do that and I finish with that, move out the way. Let him do his thing.
Okay. Jessica says, do you appreciate the high standards your parents set for you, or do you find that it has hindered you as you have become adults? Good question, Jessica.
Yes, because y'all showed that the high standard is the bare minimum. And if you're not getting that, it ain't
Yeah.
no reason for you to accept it or continue with it.
Tasia?
Yes.
I
Jalen
like
took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, that answer because we was laughing a little while ago about Jalen bringing home a C. I knew he was much smarter than a C, and so for me to accept a C would have created more laziness in him, and he would have been like, "Oh, she accepted one C. Well, I'm about to bring home 14 C's," and I knew
No,
he was in
no,
that and could do better than that. Yes,
no.
you would have.
Because I still had a 3.5 with a C. I still had a 3.5 GPA with a C.
You could have had a 3.9 or a 4.0 because you were capable of that. And so I think, so Tasia, do you remember when you were taking chemistry and you had to take the SOL?
Yes.
Tell the people what happened.
Yes. I always took classes above my grades. So I was taking chemistry, I was taking geometry, and it was when I was taking Spanish too, all at the same time. So I was stressed. By the time the SOL came, I didn't care what I got. As long as it said pass, I didn't even care. Even if I passed by 1 point, I was like, I'm good with that.
Okay. Let's see. And so, okay, so when you all were in school, how do I phrase this? When you were in school, what was the requirement in terms of you going to school?
Oh, Tasia, would you like to
Every
answer
day.
that?
Every day. I think there was probably one time out of our whole lives, mom was like, you know what? I think all of us just gonna stay home today. And mind you, I was already dressed, ready to walk out the door. And she came downstairs. I went back upstairs so fast. I was like, yeah, this is definitely a great day. But that was my senior year in high school. So you see how long it took. I was in school every day up until then. Even if I was sick. Sick day didn't happen until Jalen came in the picture. I don't know what that was about, but
It was when I got the swine flu. I remember that.
I
That was
remember
you stayed home more than that. It was
no,
a
I
couple of
didn't.
times you stayed
No, I
home
did
because you
not.
sick.
I did not stay home more than that. However, leaving school early, that's a whole
Okay.
nother thing. That's a whole nother thing because especially on Fridays where tournaments were out the state and we had to leave in the middle of the day. Yeah, around 11 o'clock, I'm ready to go and we out. But other than
Oh yeah, I
so
that,
used to love the Virginia Beach tournament.
so do you now see how that has transitioned or set the stage for how you go to work every day?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
It paid off in the long
Unfortunate.
run.
Yeah.
Crush said, I'm sure if they told you to shut up, they would not be here to tell the story. We were gentle parents, Crush.
None of
You
us.
And
see right
so
there, that's a perfect example of common sense. I like him. I like him. Perfect example.
if we gentle parented, we if you look in the dictionary under gentle parent, you'll see our picture. And so,
Try again.
Maybe under the antonyms.
maybe on the what, Tasia?
The antonyms.
Okay, so let me ask y'all this. I see a lot of challenges on social media where the kids are doing challenges with their parents. Of course, one of the challenges was telling their parents to shut up. I mean, even at you all's age at this point, would you risk doing the shut up challenge at this age?
What's the point? What's the point? To get everybody blood
Because
pressure
the parent,
boiling for no reason? I'm good.
right, the parent that's supposed to be in on the joke gonna forget that they was even in on the joke.
Exactly.
We might as well not
Now
even
you
take that
going
risk.
now you gonna have both parents at your throat.
Right. Be like, dang, you was supposed to be on my side.
I told you what we were getting ready to do.
Talking about we team Higgins.
Right. I was about to say that's Team Higgins for you.
So let me ask this question as we start to wind down, because y'all are absolutely hilarious. What's a lesson you learned from us that you're glad you learned?
Good help is hard to find in every occupation. And I refuse to be that person that's not good help in my occupation.
Very good. Tasia?
That and just not having patience for stuff that just doesn't benefit me or my life. Anything I got going on.
Okay. So Jessica says, I've heard people say, I'll never be like my mom or dad, or I won't ever say that to my kid. Have y'all ever said that? And if so, why or what is it that y'all will never say to your child?
Well, I can tell you, I said it earlier this episode. As far as the busybodiness, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Other than that, Nah, I haven't said that.
Tasia?
Um, I think the only thing that I wouldn't do that you do is not cooking. I think that's the only thing.
I used to cook.
Keyword is
Thanksgiving and
used to.
Christmas.
Until y'all learn how to feed yourselves and you need me no more. This is a good question. Have y'all decided who is going to be responsible for each parent as they age and can no longer take care of themselves?
Nope, but we can decide it right now. Rock, paper, scissors, Tasia.
Tasia frozen, Jalen. Hold
Look.
on. Tasia
Nope,
already
I won. I'll take mine.
Okay. Tasia, you back? She's still frozen. I already know what Tasia. Yes, Sharon. Tasia has already decided that I am going with Tasia. Wait a minute. She came back. Hold on. All right,
Okay.
Tasia, the question was, have you all decided who is going to be responsible for each parent as they age and can no longer take care of themselves?
Yep, we got a whole plan figured out.
What's the plan, Tasia?
I think me and mom decided she was gonna come with me. And Jalen gonna take dad. And then
Hey,
I
that's
even
cool with
added in
me.
there, Jalen, I don't know if I ran this by you. If we need to move closer so they can see each other, I got you. We can make that
All
work.
right, good. Hey,
Yeah.
that works for me. Me and Dad gonna be lit.
And we can
I ain't going with Jalen.
exchange weekends.
I ain't going with Jalen because he's been forgot to feed me. He'll be like, "Oh, you ain't ate." He won't even take me to the hairdresser. He'll be like, "You don't need your hair done. You ain't going nowhere." So thank you, Tasia. I look forward to living with you. So, okay, here's the question. When it's time to take the car keys away from your father, whose job is it?
Jalen.
Who gonna step up and do that? Okay. All right. Everybody, we got it on tape. Jalen gonna step up and take the car keys from his father because you know that's gonna be a battle.
Dad, you got a while. Don't worry. You got a while.
Right.
I see dudes that look 100 years old driving next to me on my way home. So he got some time.
Jessica said, "Hey, she's cooked a lot lately. I've witnessed it." Yes. Sharon said she needs you to cook for Thanksgiving, Tasia. Don't worry. If y'all come to my house, she's going to be the one cooking.
Exactly.
I'm so over it. All right. One last question. Tasia, if you could give your 18-year-old self some advice, what would you say?
I would tell her to slow down. She was trying to experience so much life at one time. And it was moving her focus from what she needed to be doing. So if I could give her any advice, I would tell her to slow down.
Okay. And Jalen, if you could give your 18-year-old self some advice, what would it be?
I would say, like she said, I would tell myself to stay focused. Stay focused. Like it may seem like it sucks right now, but stay focused. You're gonna be all right.
Okay, well, I would like to thank you all for being my guest on today's podcast. I am going to ask you all to sit tight. I'm going to take you off the screen. I'm going to do my What the Hell segment. And then I am going to wrap up this episode of Let's Get Into It. So let's talk about what the hell. I know many people who watch this show are parents themselves, either a step parent, a biological parent, an auntie parent, a bonus parent. And as you can see, as you go through life and you parent your kids, one of the things I know I often say to myself is, what the hell? Like, if it's not one of them that has something I have to deal with, it's the other. And I'm like, what the hell? Can both of y'all just go sit down somewhere and let me have a break? Right. And so, but one of the things I will say about being a parent, there's so many joys in being a parent when you start parenting your kids as soon as they start being independently mobile. So that's as soon as they start crawling, you have to start parenting at that point and showing discipline, showing love, being honest, and being who you are, and not try to hide who you are or be one person outside the house and a different person inside the house. Because what you don't want your kids to do is grow up and be like, who the hell is that? That's not my parent. There are things people could tell my kids about me and their father that they will say, oh yeah, I can see, I know they said that, or oh yeah, I know they did that. But then there would be some things that if somebody told them about their parents, they'll be like, no, my mama or my daddy didn't say that, and they didn't do that. That's just not who they are. Because we show up as individuals and as a couple to our kids. And so it's very important for you as a parent to understand that you never stop parenting. I don't care how old they get, you never stop parenting. You're going to always say, what the hell, because you are two different generations, you think differently, and life is just different. And so some of the things that happens, I'm always like, what the hell? And then I know, as you know, young adults, our kids being young adults, I know they say to themselves sometimes when they have to deal with their parents, what the hell? They can't say it out loud or say it to our face or none, but they might tell their friends what the hell, or they may tell each other what the hell. But of course, as Crush said, if they said that to us, they wouldn't be here to tell the story. So with that, I'm going to say thank you all for joining me. I have really enjoyed this show. I have laughed till I cried, and I know how funny my kids are, and I knew that they would not disappoint. So thank you all for joining me. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a great night.
Thank you for joining and participating in Let's Get Into It. I want to thank my special guest for being brave enough to get into it. Without you, these conversations cannot happen. Remember, different viewpoints, respect, and love are the foundations of Let's Get Into It. If there's a topic you think I should discuss, drop me a recommendation. If you're interested in being my special guest, let me know, because we can and will get into it. Have a great day on purpose, and I look forward to your continued engagement and support as we get into it.